What up, guys? It's Jen, just painting a little picture of how sometimes souls can be trapped in interdimensionally and trapped in some looping portal that just keeps repeating over and over and over again. And then that's kind of how Saturn, the planet, is. And Saturn's been spinning faster. Something is pulling it. Some, gravitational wave is drawing it like a slingshot before you're getting ready to snap back. In my personal opinion, that is. These types of topics that I speak about have been my life's work behind the scenes, although I've been perceived to have failed or disappointed at life. I have achieved most of my goals and what I wanted to do and research and things like that. And I just didn't make the impact, I guess you could say, that I wanted to make in the world. And I just wanted to do something good and leave something positive and beneficial behind that would be helpful and it would bring a good return, not a negative loss or a harmful effect or, a side effect or warping, twisting, polluting, perverting, corroding, corrupting, manipulating, twisting, replaying, role-playing, rewinding, fast-forwarding, ejecting, deleting, traveling, jumping, using, cheating, stealing, lying, raping, hurting, murdering, torturing, killing, slaughtering, consuming, deteriorating, corroding, melting, sinking, rising, falling, cracking, breaking, firing, warring, fighting, arguing, talking, speaking, recycling, reusing, cloning, installing, programming, coding, writing, devolving, mankind. Brains are growing smaller, horns are growing out of children's bone structures, all from the pull of these biological wavelengths. And I go beyond that. Goes below the chromosomal even oh man, okay. Sorry guys, it's hard for me to talk about some of these things because I never have. So my heart's racing. Plus, there's a lot going on with the planet of my sign, Saturn. Something's up with it tonight. It's spinning, like wobbling, out of control. Something's gonna happen. I don't know what. And it's making me all like twitching, and I'm like spasming and getting little like shocks all over my body and like the jerky movements. And then I immediately connect with Shani, Saturn, and see what's going on. And we as light workers or warriors or, digital armies of truth or whatever you want to call it, revolutionaries or progressives, I don't care. I'm so sick of talk, argue, fight, bitch and moan. So sick of it. Complain, whine. God, give me the strength. I know I am under personal attack in the physical, temporal realm where we are here now, and also in the astral or sub-level spiritual, metaphysical, supernatural. We're in the natural, dense, the supernatural, denseless. And I'm seeing all the negative attachments on people. And tonight I got hit hard just before I decided to do this video, or was guided to do this video. Let me be authentic. And that's because I have I've gotten 2 roommates to help me out with the bills and day-to-day household necessities, laundry detergent, toilet paper, extra, creamer for coffee when we run out and stuff. And I needed the help or I was going to lose this place. There's just nothing, all things considering, being at my age and being in enrolled in a certification course, so like online cyber school, and a mother that has domestic violence issues and needs advocacy, suffered abuse and PTSD, and all I get is a psychiatrist that my Medicaid affords that literally looked me in the eyes and said, well, I'm not going to give you meth. And he was referring to an ADD or an ADHD medication, drug. And he said, that's meth. I'm not going to give you meth. I was like, am I the one hallucinating here? Like, I'm going out of my freaking mind, because if he didn't say that, then something's wrong with me. But I know he did, and I was so confounded that I just had to kind of take a breath and move on, because I was really going to not be diplomatic and use no tact at that moment and say, excuse me, but you can give it to children 16 and under, 12 and under, 10 and under, methamphetamines? Oh, that's the stuff I don't have patience for. Ooh, I'm hot right now. Like, I have fire burning right here, because how dare you to look at yourself in the mirror and see yourself and shy away and hide away so cowardly at your reflection, knowing how harmful and dangerous and risky and possible side effects that could be life-altering or detrimental or fatal, extinction, death. And because of a partnership with a pharmaceutical company and a hospital network that treats you like a puppet, you don't have any courage to even stand up straight. You're so bent over for them. Damn. I'd go to the infinite ends of the universe and back for all of eternity for the ones I love. Especially my children. Now that I have experienced motherhood on this planet as Jennifer, the 43-year-old human hybrid something or other Capricorn freak of nature, outcast and fellow G in the gene pool. And I hope people just one by one start waking up a little faster, because we need to speed things up. If we're under this much attack, and I heard the aircraft, the jet earlier, bodies going through all that, I know the energies are coming in. I'm aware of that as well, and I know what to expect. I guess maybe you could say this isn't my first rodeo. I'm pretty open in public, and I don't really use too much antivirus software, malware, phishing stuff, gear. I don't really protect anything. I just put a random password. I put my name, I link my stuff, I sync my stuff. I don't have any kind of two-factor recognition going. You use your basic Android and your average 3-4G network, which is comprised of satellites, mind you. And my boy, EM over there, fellow G in the gene pool, launched Starlink, which was the new satellite system. And it has some kind of double helix looking, swirly ribbon-like flowing orbit instead of the other orbit of the other satellites. There are quite a few people out there in YouTube land who I've met over this, whatever it's been, year and something journey of my channel here, which I was guided intuitively to do, to gain my courage in front of the camera and share the research that I learned. And I was told at the time, which was 2018, circa fall, that I needed to find a way to get a message out with the biggest possible platform available and the quickest speed. And I thought, okay, well, YouTube, because that's a public worldwide, audience, so it goes worldwide. Great, that's what I need. It's a channel, I can record videos, do my shit, blah blah blah, get people, wake them up, and I'm like, awesome. But there's one thing, I hate being in the spotlight, and there's a reason. These cell phones and televisions and cameras. Audio and video. Lighting, artificial lighting, neon, halogen, fluorescent, you know what they are. Electric, hardwired, GE style. Or you have wireless, which is just harnessed from the elements which already exist naturally and doesn't cost a dime. However, I know I just got an electric bill this month. Did you? Just wondering, just curious. You don't have to answer me. Just curious. Curiosity killed the cat. Yeah, I think I'm on number 6. If my calculations, there's one. There's a beauty. I've had my own suicide attempt, which I conquered and faced and overcame. My desire to want to die was replaced with a rebirth or a new finding of a desire to live, not just exist either. Live. I wanted to live my life for the first time ever. That told me that I, for some reason, somehow, some way, by some miracle, had a glimmer of hope that was instilled in me at some point, at some time, and wherever it was, whenever it was. Something happened that triggered that in me, and it may have taken quite a while to get back around, but it did. And that's the thing. Anything that's ever been entered into the internet, whether it's a keystroke on a keyboard, a selfie, or a dick pic, or whatever you're doing, talking to your grandchildren in, Florida, whatever, on social media, playing a game, doesn't matter. It's tracking your biorhythms because you're holding it within your auric sphere, which is like, imagine an invisible force field around you that's like the amniotic sac when the baby is in the womb of the mother. And it protects you, it sustains you, it sends you communication, it keeps your temperature regulated. It's like your own little perfect incubator of, everything you need to grow in perfection, like the biggest bloom out of all the flowers that were planted. Like miracle soil, like divine soil, right? So at some point, even if it's dead today and it doesn't exist today and it's gone today and it disappeared or vanished or was stolen or robbed or crossed over, passed on, whatever, deleted, removed, it doesn't matter. Imagine God like the all shimmering light Father, Mother, God of all, like all has to be all, to know all, to be able to perceive it, sense it, embrace it, become it, be it, overcome it, challenge, it's a process. It evolves and expands. And planets, oh shit. See, that just came to me because I'm doing this. And I guess that's why I was led to, because I just got a message right now that said, okay. See, I don't know if I'm a fan of the whole 9 planetary system. I'm thinking more like 12, even possible 13, being that we would have to have a core center point, like the belly button in the middle, the nucleus of the atom. And those which are about to expand and grow and move on and evolve to their next transformation. Plane of existence, which is in a higher vibration, and it's much more ancient, and it's much wiser than anything that we could even perceive as intelligent in the corner of space that we're in right now. Okay, so they're trying to shut these last remaining planets down, all of them. Finish them off. Because then they wipe out the solar system, which wipes out the galaxy. And it's basically a territory war, like between opposing galaxies, I guess. That actually doesn't taste too bad. Sorry, I was critiquing my Rockstar because they had them on sale too for $2, so I was like, I ain't passing that up. So I usually don't drink them. I cut down on them anyways. I drink a lot of coffee still, but hey, it's a balance thing. It's like tug of war. You gotta bend a little so you don't break sometimes, and you gotta give a little so you won't give way completely. And you gotta become to know, and that's the way it is. So, but the only thing is, the way it works here is if you become a little bit here, it expands to the infinite and then back, and it's like, whew. So it becomes a lot more than you ever intended or expected it to be. So I'm getting all like, Bueller, because it's 11:06 p.m. Still Saturn's day. Shani is the Vedic name for the planet Saturn. It's not necessarily, again, don't be so literal with the terminology that's been translated over time and manipulated. Believe me. I'll give you the example here, is because, oh, excuse me. Let me get to my page here. All right. Yeah, of course I can't find it now. So the things that we're talking about anyways have to do with things like those topics, okay? So you can take any of that. You can go back and pause this if you need to. Sorry, I got messages coming in because everybody's, that has a lot to do with it right there. Bending, curving, matter. That had a lot to do with it yesterday. This is kind of the rough draft, me trying to jot down what I am being shown in my inner vision with my eyeballs not seeing, but seeing in my mind's eye. And that is a form of communication, like people pick up phones and press a button or dial into somebody or tap a button or whatever you do. It's like tuning in telepathically, your mind, and using thoughts and frequencies and different little thingamajigs that you do. And I'm not going to give too much away because there are not necessarily secrets that should be kept, but there should be wisdom that is only shared to those qualified to be able to handle and be accountable for and be responsible for the outcome. And if you're not willing to kind of go all in, like balls to the wall, like say, this is my choice. I want to seek the truth or whatever, I want to know the truth. I want to know who I am. I want to know what's going on. What's my purpose? Why am I here? Any of those, like what's in space? What's beyond space? Those basic, let's see. I'm not going to film that because here's today's Saturnian Capricorn with Cancer ascendant, 7 numerology, 8 life path, synchronicities. My middle sister Amy is a year and a half younger than me, and she has got the intuitive gift, as I do, that our family has had, and she's struggling to learn, and I can't find the time, and neither can she. We're so bogged down in this world that I'm trying to help her and guide her because she doesn't know how to interpret anything yet, but she's learning and she's picking up really quickly. Well, she was born June 15th, 6, and then 1-5, and then a year and a half later. And right in the middle of the month, the middle of the year, and I'm on the other spectrum, day after Christmas, boom, boom, right there. 76, the bicentennial of the 200-year anniversary of the Declaration of Independence, when independence was declared in 1776, 200 years ago. 76, 243 this year. 43 is a 7. That's the time I was born. My youngest sister was born almost a decade later, 9 months and give or take something or other. And she was born on March 3rd, 1985, 3-3. And she's a Pisces. My other sister's a Gemini. And I'm the hybrid. Twin mirror hybrid trinity. 3 sisters. So when I get these little things, I'll just be led and guided. Like all of a sudden I'll have books that I'll sometimes be like just led to, like how some tarot readers are just drawn to, certain cards. So I'll pick up certain books. Oh, what am I being guided to? Oh, it's in this one right here. So something's going to be in this book. I'll put my hands on it for a second, and I do my mantras, and I prepare and protect my space. Do not attempt this on your own, anyone that's listening. I advise against it, but do as you will. To each his own. I can't, do anything about it, but my advice, don't, unless you have guidance that's knowledgeable in that area, because it's not anything to play with. So I'll put my hands on, and I'll wait until I'm led to a certain page. I'll open up, boom, there it is. And then I get in the middle of 10 billion different things all at once. They get stacked, put to the side. 3D matrix calls, and I got to go vacuum or something. Or somebody's knocking at the door. And I'm like, oh! And like my body's going through it, anxiety. But I'm maintaining, like I'm so serious. Like this is taking every last bit that... and be helpful if I, turn it right side up. But due to the pole shift, magnetic true north and south, like the North Pole Santa, ho ho ho, Merry Christmas, and the South Pole Antarctica. It's like a freaking funnel or a faucet drain, like think about it. Nobody is taking time to, though, because everyone's too busy and too distracted. And that's partly one's sovereign responsibility to accept responsibility that we hand over our time and our money to be on the internet or using our gaming systems or our new cell phones or whatever, smart appliances, which, never mind. And so, it's like, all right, well, you made the choice, so you have to be accountable for that and know when to say, yeah, man, I messed up. All right, well, what can I do to make it up? And want to learn how to make yourself better. But by ignoring and hiding away and shying away from and not hearing and blocking and staying blind to or being ignorant of or not standing up when you do know, well, okay, now I've been there, done that because I was the nervous wreck cowarding because I'm so humiliated by my life here and my appearance now here and my situation and circumstances. I didn't want to show my face to anyone. It was humiliating and still is now. However, I have a job to do, and it's something that I would very much like to do before I leave here, and that is help save this beautiful planet who is being destroyed on a moment-by-moment basis. And also humanity, and keep them from being annihilated. Because that's what's happening. Agendas, depopulation, dehumanization, degradation, destruction, de-evolve, devolve. The opposite of evolving, growing, expanding, prospering. You're withering away to nothing, dust. It's up to you. Einstein himself said it. He was a G in the gene pool too. Oh, we freaking weirdo, whack job, nut jobs. Yeah, we're a little crazy, but hey, I think everybody else out there would be too if they had Saturn and they had society. So one's knocking you this way and one's knocking you this way. And you're balancing north, south, east, west, true up and true down. And everything in it, within it, outside of it, above it, below it. On it, through it, seeing in different realms, different times, different spaces, different species, different races, different beings, different languages, different times, different dimensions, alternates of them, quantum, windows. It's like opening up windows that are just this domino. So there's shit that's going on up above and below and inside that we aren't privy to in this human costume that we're in right now, and in the atmosphere that we're kept in, which is polluted on purpose to keep people from panicking, but to keep people from knowing by realizing and seeing and understanding, because they're asking and they're wondering and they're contemplating and they're thinking. And they're like, I'm going to ask somebody about that. And all you have to do to get an answer ever is ask. You first must ask the question if you ever want to receive an answer. How can an answer be decreed if a question was never, transmitted and received? And that's what's happening with people like me who've been labeled bipolar and manic and schizo and depressed and blah, 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 wah, 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 wah. anymore. I'm deaf to that noise. I'll tell you real quick about that. Because electromagnetic central nervous systems, which is our brain and spinal cord and heart connecting into our solar plexus, which binds to our intestinal area, gut area. Gut area is very important, especially behind that belly button. You could consider that a core that's very important to maintain. And that's why people are just getting sicker. They're dying younger. They're getting more obese. We're finding more parasitic species and bacterial and fungal and viral and contagious disease-causing antigens in things, and the numbers of probiotics are a lot lower than the antibiotics out there, and we need more probiotics to balance that positive, negative, poles of the battery. And that's with the neurons firing their synapses, which is, in my opinion, would be a problem that would stem in the electron of the nucleus, because it is an electrical impulse, but it is also light emitting as well. They send a synapse and a pulsar flashing effect. So it's photonic as well as atomic. And I just wrote a poem. I didn't write it. No, let me rephrase that. Whoa. Hang on. Our words are very important, peeps. We got to always be mindful of what comes out of here. Jesus said it in the Bible too. He said, it doesn't matter what you put in your body. It's what comes out of it. I'm not talking pee and poop either. I'm talking your words can be blessings or they can be curses. Think of very carefully how sound travels in waves, and that magicians or witches or, whatever they were, they used spells, incantations. They would say a whatever, and it would put a hex on somebody. Or you say a prayer and may the angels of the Creator walk with you always in protection and light and love. Something that's a blessing. If you say to somebody, imagine this, if you say you're angry and you're like, go to, guess where they're going? But guess what? So are you. Because divine law absolutely, without error, absolutely, 0 point, no room for error, perfectly states and presents the knowledge, which is the wisdom, which is the light of God. It does not allow any subclauses, let's put it that way, or vows or documents or agreements or contracts or commitments to, or deals or sales or things like that. It does not commit them to the unrightful purchaser of them, or buyer, or receiver, owner, ruler of them. Now it belongs to their original maker, creator, all the God of all the universe, all galaxies, all planets. It's a lot bigger than anyone can do here, okay? So no matter what happens, whether you sing it, whether you play it on an instrument, whether you create art, whether you cook, whether you are a parent, or whether you go to school, whether you are a volunteer, whether you do something that heals people or is good for people or nurtures them or helps them or heals them or does something positive and beneficial, you'll be, the wave coming back to you will be bountiful. Because that's where we are, I believe, according to my calculations anyways, and I try to be as accurate as I can be. We're around that area, and I think if we start figuring out some star signs up there as a collective, maybe we can get it done a little faster. And by doing so, we can join hands and go with the velocity that would take, having a group collective in quality versus, of the density of that energy. Because I think we're going to need a couple strong, like good Florida East Coast waves, Hawaii waves, surfing waves, or boogie boarding waves, or the knock you down because they're fun and you're a kid and you just love every time the waves come in. I think we're going to need a couple to deflect what's headed toward us right now. And I think if we don't set some type of intent to barrier not only this planet, but the solar system, the galaxy, and our neighbors as well, I think our waters may be shaken quite violently here soon. And that could cause a lot of catastrophe, a lot of unnecessary. I don't know, I'm getting lots of water energy. Undersea, underwater. Lots of tails, mermaid's tails, and my Capricorn, whatever it is, fish, half serpent, reptile, yeah. But no contract or deal can hold true, because the ransom was paid a long time ago for the freedom of humanity and to free all the slaves, which were the captives, which were humans, just being used as slaves time and time again. And then it was time to expand consciousness, and this is the last shot we got. And this is the final fight. And that's why I need everyone to not be afraid, because many, many times it has been written throughout the hands of time and traveled many different places in many different ways. And those who have maybe gone before in a previous lifetime timeline point on the graph would be aware of all this way before any of it happens, because they already lived at this time, but just in a different timeline. But it's kind of like running side by side parallel. I know it's a really hard concept to grasp, so I'm just going to leave it there. Start asking questions. Start activating other star seeds and light workers and light warriors and truthers and those in the truth movement. And my motto this year of 2020 perfect vision is Don't vote 2020. Get out of the game. Don't shop. Don't spend. I know my generation, we can get a little rebellious. Yeah, that was probably my downfall. I was always very defiant, rebellious, and I hate conforming, bowing down. Peace, love, and respect to everyone.